Hey, what's up, everyone? JB here. So today I got Zach with me. We're each doing a mock draft. So this video is going to be my mock draft, and then later we're also going to be doing Zach's mock draft, and we're both going to be commenting on each of the picks. So we're both doing our first round picks, and then maybe we'll throw in like a few notable picks in the second or third round that we included. Yeah, we're just going to kind of go through our first round, explain why we picked who we picked, and why we think they'll be a good fit in whichever team they get drafted to. So with that being said, let's begin. Number one, I got Trevor Lawrence. Very self-explanatory. That one seems clear as day. He is the best prospect in the draft, the best prospect in probably the past decade as well. The Jaguars would be stupid not to draft him. That seems clear as day. So number one, I got Trevor Lawrence.
I got no arguments there.
Yep. All right. Number two, I got Zach Wilson. I know Zach here is a big fan of Zach Wilson.
Look, I'm very high on Zach Wilson. He reminds me a lot of kind of a Russell Wilson, maybe Aaron Rodgers. We'll see if he lives up to that, but I think he's got a lot of potential in him.
Yeah, personally, I think Zach Wilson's extremely talented. He's got a high ceiling, but I think he has somewhat of a low floor compared to Trevor, because Trevor's a very safe prospect compared to Zach Wilson. Personally, I'm more a fan of Justin Fields, but based off the way that people are talking about it, it seems pretty clear that the Jets have decided that they want Zach Wilson. But we never know. It's the NFL draft. But yeah, I got Zach Wilson 2 overall. All right, number 3. I got Justin Fields here. And this is weird because I know that it looks like the 49ers are going to go Trey Lance or Mac Jones as of recording this 2 days before the draft. However, I really think that's all a smokescreen. Justin Fields is just such an incredible prospect and such a incredible talent at the quarterback position. I don't see them passing on him. It's possible based off the way they're talking about it, but I really think that's more of a smokescreen than anything.
I'm not really as high as JB on Justin Fields. I think he's going to be a good quarterback, and I think in other draft classes he's a top 2 pick, maybe top 3, but just compared to the other guys, I see them better than Justin Fields, and I think he's going to fall. I honestly do, but
it's very possible.
We'll see what happens on draft day.
Yep, there's really no way to predict it to begin with. But with that being said, number 4, I got Kyle Pitts to the Falcons. I think he's the overall best prospect, the best overall football player in this draft. He's extremely athletic. He's a freak of nature. With him sitting there at 4, I honestly think it's a really good pick. I think in a less packed quarterback draft class, I think he could very well be the first overall pick. But with the fact that they have so many good quarterbacks coming out of this draft, I have him going 4th to the Falcons.
For this pick, if the Falcons do pick, I see Kyle Pitts, but I see pick 4 as a very big trade opportunity for some team that wants, say, any of the quarterbacks that are left. In JB's mock, you would probably see a Trey Lance or a Mac Jones. Yep. In my mocks, it's going to be a little different. But if they do pick, I still see Kyle Pitts here, but I do anticipate a trade in this spot.
Yeah, and that's another thing to note. Zach included trades in his mock draft. I didn't, because personally I think trades are just too hard to predict. So I just kind of go with what I think each team is going to take at that position. But it's very possible that trade could occur here. I just don't have any in my draft. Number 5, I have the Bengals selecting Penei Sewell with the 5th overall pick. It seems clear as day. He's the best offensive line prospect by far, head and shoulders above any other offensive lineman in this draft. I know that Joe Burrow has come out and said he wanted Jamar Chase, and that is definitely a possibility. But with how awful the Bengals' offensive line has been and how quiet they've been in the offseason for making moves, it just seems like they definitely need to make to choose an offensive lineman here.
Let's not make this harder than it needs to be, Bengals.
Yeah.
Get the offensive tackle. Yeah. You're already pretty good at receiver. Mm-hmm. You got Higgins last year. You got Tyler Boyd, who's doing well. I'm sure you got a good third string that can at least hold his own weight. Don't be stupid here. Help Joe Burrow out.
Yep.
Get the offensive lineman.
Facts. Okay, now 6, I have Jamar Chase. I think that the Dolphins have an opportunity here to just absolutely bolster their team. They got so many picks in this draft, and I think if they go with Jamar Chase right here at 6, I think they definitely take advantage of that. They get another weapon, because we know towards the end of last season he definitely struggled, and he's only a rookie, or he was a rookie, But I think getting Jamar Chase will definitely help him improve significantly this upcoming year.
I like this pick on your mock draft. However, earlier when I was looking at Bleacher Report, I did see that they favor Jalen Waddle over Jamar Chase.
True. I saw that too.
And I see if Kyle Pitts falls to 6, I think they no-brainer draft him.
I did see that thing about Jalen Waddle. However, I just think with the fact that Jamar Chase is by far the best wide receiver in this draft class, I thought about it, but I couldn't put any wide receiver ahead of him. It just seemed impossible. Anyway, moving to number 7, I have Jalen Waddle going to the Lions. I think next best wide receiver, the Lions definitely need a receiver. They lost. Who'd they lose? Was it Kenny Galladay they lost?
They lost both Marvin Jones
and Kenny Galladay. Well, yeah, then there you go. Definitely. That's as clear as that. Jalen Waddle to the Lions' number 7 pick.
I like this pick here. They do need a receiver. However, this is another place where I could see a potential trade up for a quarterback. But if they keep the pick, this is definitely the one that they're going to make.
Yeah, I could definitely see a trade here as well. But like I said, no trades in my draft. So I'm just playing it out how it already is set. Number 8, I got Trey Lance, the next best quarterback, going to the Panthers.
Oh, God.
I got Trey Lance to the Panthers. I know. It's weird. I don't know what was going through my mind when I chose this one. But, I mean, he's still sitting there at 8. I think he's a top 5 talent. I think the Panthers are going to see that and know, they got Bridgewater. They just got Darnold. But I don't know. I really think that this could be a possibility. Again, this is another thing I could see them trading out of this spot if Trey Lance is still sitting there for sure. This is honestly probably the biggest possibility of a trade in my mock draft so far because, like I said, I don't really know if they need a quarterback after getting Darnold. But like I said, no trades in my mock draft, so I have them getting Trey Lance because he's still sitting there, and I had to put him somewhere.
Look, I agree with you that the top 5 quarterbacks are going in the top 10, but I think drafting a quarterback with all that Sam Darnold has been through, you just don't want to put that on him. That's too much. He's already gone through so much, and you don't want to hurt his confidence anymore. I think maybe one of the receivers falls to this point. Maybe a Devontae Smith or a Waddle,
on the board in this
and they can. That's where I see them going. Or they can get Rashawn Slater from Northwestern, the tackle. He's pretty good. That's where I see them going. But I'll agree with JB. This is a heavy trade spot for me.
Yeah, again, if I included trades, this would definitely be the number 1 spot that I would have a trade going. Yeah, speaking of Sam Darnold, honestly, that's part of the reason I decided to get him is because I really don't know if they're completely sold on Sam Darnold. I mean, he didn't look great at the Jets. Now, granted, he was playing for the Jets, but I think Trey Lance is definitely a good a safety net, sort of, if Sam Darnold doesn't work out. All right, number 9, I have Mac Jones going to the Broncos. I know they have Drew Lock, but let's be honest. I mean, everyone knows that they're really in the market for a quarterback. Drew Lock is somewhat good, but and with development, he could be a lot better. But I definitely see them getting Mac Jones. He fits the Broncos' prototypical quarterback. He just reeks of Denver Bronco, in my opinion. So, I mean, that seemed relatively easy for me with him still sitting here at 9 that they would pick him up.
I like this pick. I mean, if you look at the Denver Broncos roster, they're pretty much a quarterback away from being in contention for a playoff spot. You look at their defense is always pretty well. Their offense is stacked. Maybe they could use a lineman. We'll address that later. But if you can upgrade from Drew Lock, one of two things has to happen this year for the Broncos. They either draft a quarterback that's better than Drew Lock, or Drew Lock develops into a better quarterback.
Okay, with the 10th pick, I have Patrick Surtain going to the Cowboys. This one was kind of tough. I mean, I no doubt wanted to go defense. The Cowboys were atrocious on defense last year. I mean, I think one of the worst defenses in NFL history. They gave up so many yards or something like that. And I didn't know where to go because they just needed stuff everywhere. So I just decided to pick, in my opinion, the best defensive player on the board at the moment, which was Patrick Surtain, the cornerback.
Yeah, this one for me, you can just put a lock on it. This is what's going to be.
Yeah.
This is the Dallas Cowboys draft pick right here.
Yeah.
It is in every mock. They need a cornerback, and the best cornerback falls to them. Yeah. This is their pick.
Okay, so now we're at the top 10. We're going to start going a bit quicker here. I'm just going to kind of go over quickly who I picked and why. Zach, if you want to chip in about something, just stop me, but I'm just going to keep going from here on out. Okay, so with that being said, number 11, I got Micah Parsons. I feel like it's a good fit. I feel like they need defensive help, and I really feel like Micah Parsons would be a good fit there. He's a really good talent, and with him sitting there at 11, he's the best linebacker, in my opinion, by a good margin in this draft. So I got Micah Parsons.
Probably one of the best defensive prospects in the draft, too.
Yeah. Okay, so number 12, I finally got Devontae Smith going off the board to the Eagles.
Love it.
Yeah, I think at 12, with him sitting there, it's an easy decision. They need wide receivers. I mean, their wide receivers have been atrocious in the past few years. They missed out on Jefferson last year, and then the year before that, they missed out on Metcalf. So I definitely see them going Devontae Smith here. I think it's an easy decision. He's still sitting at number 12. I think that's a steal. I mean, the only reason I really think he's sitting there at number 12 is because of how loaded this class is. So yeah, number 12, I got Devontae Smith. 13, another easy one for me. I got Christian Darrisaw going to the Chargers. They need offensive line help, and I think he's the next best guy off the board. That's
over Slater?
Yeah, I like him better than Slater. I think some people, I saw some mock drafts, and I don't agree with this, but some of them had him rated above Penei Sewell. I don't think that's true. I think he's the second best, though.
People had Slater over Sewell, too.
I know. So
and Slater had a really great day blocking Chase Young.
I mean, I don't know. I think all the tackles could be. I mean, they're very boom or bust because they have so many offensive linemen in this draft. I got Christian Darrisaw 13 to the Chargers. And then 14 right behind him, I got Rashawn Slater to the Vikings. I think they also need some O-line help. I was also thinking about going defense here. I mean, they could use some D-line help. Rashawn Slater is a great fit there.
If this happens and you're a Vikings fan, you should be celebrating.
All right, 15, I got J.C. Horn to the Patriots. I think the Patriots want a quarterback with the big five off the board. I think it's pretty clear the Patriots need to go defense. With that being said, I think they go cornerback, J.C. Horn. Stephon Gilmore, he's still there at the moment, but it's kind of unclear as to where his future will be. So yeah, I got J.C. Horn. I think he's one of the best cornerbacks in the draft class. Extremely talented. I got him going to the Patriots.
If they don't trade up for a quarterback, expect this to be the pick on draft night.
Yep.
I agree with that 100%.
Okay, number 16, I got Christian Barmore from Alabama, the defensive interior lineman going to the Cardinals. I think he'd be a good fit there. They need defensive line help, and basically that I like him there. Okay, 17, I got Trayvon Moehrig going to the Raiders. I think they also need defensive help. I think they need safeties. I mean, there you go. I think he's definitely the highest graded safety in the draft by a good margin. So I think it's a pretty easy pick there for them to swoop him while he's still on the board.
Yeah, when I was making my mock, I was like, there's no way they don't go O-line. And then I was looking, and I was like, they'll adjust on the second round. They need this pick. They need a defensive guy that can make plays.
Yep. Okay, with the 18th pick, I really like having Najee Harris going to the Dolphins. I think with the fact that they have an opportunity to go all out this draft to get to stack, because I mean they have so many picks, they can stack their team. They got Jamar Chase with the 6th overall pick, and I think not getting Najee Harris to put in the backfield. I mean, get all the weapons he needs. They had terrible running back issues last year. I think picking up Najee Harris could definitely relieve them of that. The dude's extremely talented. He's a freak of nature, and I like him at 18 to the Dolphins. Okay, number 19, I got Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah going to the Washington football team. They need linebackers, and he's a top linebacker off the board. Simple as that. I haven't watched too much of this dude. I don't know much about him, but I know he's been highly touted for a long time, and they need linebackers, so that's where I had him going. Okay, 20, I got the Bears picking up Rashad Bateman from Minnesota. With the fact that Allen Robinson, we don't know where he's going to be. I think he's going to stay with the Bears, but they're unclear at the moment. And they definitely need, even if they do keep Allen Robinson, they definitely need wide receivers regardless. So I got Rashad Bateman going 20 to the Bears.
I have the Bears picking receiver. Now, if they keep Allen Robinson, I don't like Bateman here because they're similar type receivers. So if they keep Allen Robinson, I see them getting a different receiver, probably one with more speed, a little bit more slot ability. We'll address that in my mock.
Yeah, they have plenty of wide receivers in this class. It's so loaded. You can't really go wrong with any of them. I mean, I'm sure in a few more picks, they'll have a few more wide receivers. 21, I got Kwity Paye the edge from Michigan, going to the Colts. I was really not wanting to go defense here because, I mean, the Colts had the best defense in the NFL last year. However, I just think with what's left on the board, Kwity Paye is still sitting there as an incredible edge rusher, and I think why not just bolster the defense while they have the opportunity. So 21, Kwity Paye to the Colts.
I like that. If you don't have any big needs, make a strength stronger.
Exactly, because that was the thing as I was looking through the needs of the Colts. I mean, they have a really good roster. They don't seem to need too much outside of maybe another wide receiver. So I said, why not bolster one of the weaker spots on their best aspect, which is their defense. Okay, 22. I got Elijah Moore going to the Tennessee Titans. They lost Corey Davis. They need to replace him as quickly as possible. Make sure the offense stays at full force because, I mean, they have one of the best offenses in the NFL. Derrick Henry, Elijah Moore if he gets drafted, Tannehill, and then A.J. Brown. So I just thought replace the crucial part of that offense that just got traded away.
I love Elijah with Brown. I like that.
Me too. I think that's a great pairing. Two different types of wide receivers, so give Tannehill some help. Okay, 23. I got Caleb Farley to the Jets. Personally, I didn't know how I felt about going cornerback with the Jets. I thought they had other needs that they could address. However, Caleb Farley was still on the board, and he is, in my opinion, he should really go before 23rd, but I didn't know where to put him. So I just had him going here because they need defensive help. And so I thought, why not put him here, even though I wasn't initially planning on going cornerback. So Caleb Farley to the Jets, the 23rd overall pick. Okay, 24th, I got the Steelers selecting Elijah Vera Tucker, the tackle out of USC. I think they need offensive line help. I also, in the second round, I have them going center, which is something I think that's the only center I've gone off the board because they lost a longtime center, Mike Pouncey, past offseason. So I got them going tackle right here, and then I also have them getting a center in the second round. I think bolstering that offensive line while they have that opportunity is definitely the move. Okay, the 25th overall pick, I have Tevin Jenkins going to the Jags. I really wanted to get the Jags a tight end here, get Trevor Lawrence a weapon while we have the opportunity. However, they didn't really have too many good tight ends left. I mean, aside from Kyle Pitts, it's a big, deep drop-off. So I thought another high offensive lineman that's still sitting there at 25, why not pick him up? Okay, with the 26th overall pick, I have the Cleveland Browns selecting Zaven Collins. Honestly, Cleveland has a really stacked roster, and they have a lot to build off of from last year. So I thought, why not just get an extra linebacker? I consider it one of the weaker spots on that defense. So I thought, best linebacker available, Zaven Collins would be a perfect fit in Cleveland. Okay, 27, I have Jalen Phillips going to the Ravens. I mean, I really think they need edge help. That seems clear as day. I don't know. What do you think of that, Zach? I feel like they definitely need edge help here.
They need edge help, but I think they go receiver here.
I could see that too. They also need receivers. I mean, Lord knows they haven't done anything to help Lamar out there. But I still saw Jalen Phillips sitting here. I really thought he's a better talent than most of the receivers you'll find at this point. So I went ahead and had him going 27th to the Ravens. Okay, 28th, my New Orleans Saints. That's my team. I decided to go with Greg Newsome, the cornerback from Northwestern. Initially, I didn't know where to go here. I knew that they needed, the Saints definitely need linebackers, wide receivers, and cornerbacks as well. So honestly, I just kind of went with the best overall player available, which was Greg Newsome. So, yeah, that's why I went there. They could also go linebacker here or wide receiver. I wouldn't be surprised from any of them.
I like the pick here, but I think the cornerback class is deep in the second round. I'd like to see there's not that many linebackers past the first-round talents. I think they got to grab a linebacker here and draft a cornerback in the second round.
Definitely possible. I don't think it would happen, but if Micah Parsons was still sitting there at 28, I'd be really happy if the Saints were able to snag him.
No way.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. But that would be my dream come true for this draft. Okay, 29, I got the Green Bay Packers selecting Kadarius Toney. I know that the Packers are infamous for picking a player they shouldn't pick. However, if I was the Packers GM, I definitely think they have to go wide receiver. There's been need to go wide receiver. I think this is finally the year they get one. I think they get Kadarius Toney. He would be a perfect fit in that offense alongside Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, if Tony's on the board with Green Bay picking and they don't pick him, somebody's getting fired.
Yeah, honestly. Okay, 30. The Buffalo Bills, they remind me of the Colts a lot. They don't have too many holes to fill, so I kind of struggle with this pick. So I decided to go ahead and go with Gregory Rousseau, the edge rusher from Miami. He was still on the board. I think he's one of the best edge rushers. I think the defensive ends in this class is super deep alongside the wide receivers. So I thought, why not get them? I think it's a safe pick. Definitely bolstering the offensive line or the defensive line, excuse me. So I have them going Gregory Rousseau with the 30th overall pick. Okay, 31st, the Baltimore Ravens once again. And this time I have them going wide receiver like they've been needing to do. I have them getting Terrace Marshall Jr. from LSU. As an LSU fan, I can tell you this dude is extremely talented. He's really good at making the jump ball plays, big plays when they're needed. I definitely think that'd be a perfect fit alongside Hollywood Brown. I think that Lamar would very much be happy with this pick, give him another deep threat option, or even just some reliable option in the passing game. Okay, and 32nd, with the last pick of the first round, the Bucs, and they're another team that was pretty hard to figure out what they needed. But after looking through their roster and looking through what's available, I definitely decided that Levi Onwuzurike, I don't know if I said that right, the interior defensive lineman from Washington would be a perfect fit there. He's, at this point in the draft, he's definitely the highest touted interior defensive lineman by a long shot. And I definitely think that that's something they could need. They still have Ndamukong Suh, but he's getting old. So I thought, why not go defensive line here for the Bucs? So that concludes my first round draft picks. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to kind of tell you all a few of my notable second round picks that I had as well. Okay, with the 46th pick, I think that the Patriots go quarterback finally, and they get Kyle Trask. Personally, I think Kyle Trask is a sleeper in this draft. I know Zach is not a big fan of him.
He's not good.
I think he has potential. I think he's a sleeper. I think he's kind of underrated. I would kind of almost associate him with the other top 5 quarterbacks. I think he should be in that class more than in the second tier of QBs. He was a Heisman finalist and whatnot. So, yeah, I like him going to the Patriots. That seems like something the Patriots would do, would get a steal at 46 with Kyle Trask. But aside from that, I don't have too many picks in the second round I think are anything crazy. I got the Steelers getting a center, Creed Humphrey, to replace Mike Pouncey after all these years. For my Saints, I got us going Baron Browning in this linebacker in the second round with the 60th overall pick. I think that, like I said, we need wide receivers, cornerbacks, and linebackers. So I think if we address cornerback and linebacker in the first round, that is definitely a positive for the Saints. It's definitely a W in this draft. Okay, so that's about all I have to say for my draft. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe if so, and let me know what you thought of my draft in the comments and what you think I should change.